Bitcoin records its highest ever weekly close above $90,000. Meme coins are heating up even more with these platforms, and HBAR is going to space and also giving us a new SEC chairman. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, Altcoin Buzz IO, and as always, not financial advice, and wish you the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Alright, you guys, I am back. It was a bit of a rough week for me to be traveling with Bitcoin's price action doing this, so I'm sorry for the lack of TA videos, but we are back, and Bitcoin still looks pretty amazing. Now, Bitcoin has closed its highest weekly candle at $90,000, but are we going to continue up, or are we going to consolidate here, or are we even going to dump from here? So traders are preparing for Bitcoin's price volatility towards $100,000. That's the magic retail number. Bitcoin only saw a modest dip into the latest record-breaking weekly close, leaving shorts on the losing end. Above $90,000 into the week's first Wall Street open, Bitcoin is holding above $90,000 for now, being up 30% month to date. And so trader Skew said, so far the usual weekly open bid has lifted prices. Now Skew noted that the price had held the 21-period exponential moving average, or EMA, on the 4-hour time frames, and highlighted two key levels to watch for this week: 90,000 and 91,300. So we can see here we have some big key levels, which I'll get to in a minute. But fellow trader Crypto Nuvo said it'd be great to see an aggressive spike to $95,000 to $96,000 over the coming week. He suggested that large volume traders may seek to liquidate newcomers closer to $100,000. And I kind of agree, resulting in more market fluctuation before that significant psychological price barrier is breached. So he says the main liquidation level is up, but it also makes sense to spike up near $100,000 without fully reaching there and then reverse down. Why? Because many new traders will come to the market for the first time FOMOing with longs and spot buys, and they're easy prey. So he has this chart, and I have a very similar one, where we're holding this trend line here, this liquidity trend line, where we haven't swept below these. And so we're in an uptrend when we don't really start to sweep these lows like we do back in trending markets. Now that we're in uptrend, we haven't spiked these yet. However, we could if we have a little bit of a large leverage flush. And so he has a chart, and I have a chart here, pretty similar, where we have these wicks down here at $84,000 to around $86,000 that haven't been tested yet. So we've held above this, which is great and bullish. However, it would make sense if we almost made it to $100,000, and then before that happens, everyone is obviously loading up on the leverage, everyone's buying spot, and then we have a dump from around maybe $98,000 to $99,000 all the way back down. We take out these wicks, and then we have that leverage flush, which then allows us to go back up. Once we get down here to this level, spot buys will come in. We'll be able to reclaim this level and then continue up in a more healthy way, because funding is going crazy right now. The crypto fear and greed index is like almost at an all-time high right now. So everyone is very euphoric in the market. We haven't had a significant flush yet. So not saying it's going to happen right now, because we could still go towards $99,000. But just know, once we get towards that big psychological level of $100,000, we could be seeing a flush coming. And so he says to the downside, $87,000 needs to hold if the market shows signs of consolidation. So basically, that's kind of what I want to see too. Is I want to see us come down, take out these wicks, and then reclaim. That would be great, because then if we just keep going up without taking out these wicks, then you just think that at some point we're going to take out those wicks again, and it might be up from a lot higher, maybe 105,000, and then we go a bigger, deeper correction. So I'm hoping we just take these out sooner than later. And then moving on, we have this guy, Tracer, DeFi Tracer on X, said, these whales control Binance and Coinbase. They just pumped ACT 420x and Peanut 195x. Now they're accumulating alts before listings. So he shares a bunch of meme coins, which you can go and find, but also the higher cap meme coins he shares that could be getting listed on Binance and Coinbase next, which will send them flying. So he goes on to say that people who handle Binance and Coinbase listings have changed their mindset. In recent days, we've seen ACT and Peanut on Binance, as well as WIF and Pepe on Coinbase, which was massive. You saw that WIF and Pepe spike when this huge, massive daily candle went up all the way to $4.83 on Mexi for WIF. But yeah, huge, massive candles for Pepe and WIF when they got listed on Coinbase. So imagine that for other memes. And he goes on to say, this is just the beginning of global adoption for meme coins. It's quite understandable. And he connected a couple of analysis to look at the current tier 1 exchange listing hype. And he says these are the main coins that could be getting listed on Coinbase and Binance, and as well as Robinhood, which is just massive. So the coins he's marked out here are Doge, which obviously is already on Coinbase and Robinhood. We have SHIB, same, Pepe, and WIF now on although isn't on Robinhood yet. And then we have Bonk and Degen on Coinbase. Now, the next ones that are being potentially put on these because they're on Coinbase International Perp Markets, and that seems to be a prerequisite before it goes on Coinbase, is we have Mu on Solana, Floki on ETH, Bohm on Sol, and Turbo or Book of Meme on Sol, Turbo on ETH, and the Nero ETH, the ETH version of Nero. So these are potential memes, huge, bigger cap memes that could be going on. He goes on to give a list of lower cap memes, and I don't know too much about them. I don't know if I can recommend them. We have $36 million market cap ones of $30 million. You have to look into these. I don't know Fartcoin at 208 million. You have to look into these. I'm not sure if I can recommend these fully, but these higher cap ones are the ones that we want to be looking at. So Mu, Floki, Bohm, Turbo, and Nero are the ones that are, the higher cap ones we want to be watching. And we actually have been calling some meme coins. We don't always call meme coins, but we have been more recently, especially in Altcoin Buzz Alpha. And in this video we had 10 days ago where we talked about AI meme coins. We talked about this one called Memes AI, which at the time was around almost $10 million market cap. And then it went up like insane amount in the past week while I was in Bangkok and I was seeing this happening. It went up almost a 10x in just over a week. So the meme market is very hot right now. I'm kind of worried because we could see a flush, right? We could see a flush, but memes overextend so much that we might see a couple more multiples before that flush happens. So this is one to watch potentially if we do get a flush and we do, have a bit of a down beginning to the week with Bitcoin. If we do have, anything that goes down here and memes flush, this is one that you potentially want to be looking at, Memes AI. Rootstock started in 2018, making it the oldest Bitcoin Layer 2 network, and it's been making a lot of big moves lately. Besides being the first DAO to launch on the network, the Rootstock Collective allows Bitcoin developers to make EVM-compatible apps, and the market has noticed. Rootstock has 2 tokens you can buy to support their activities. The first is rBTC. It's Rootstock's wrapped version of Bitcoin, and as a Bitcoin sidechain, this is a safer token than some wrapped tokens with unknown collateral holdings. And Rootstock's native token is the RIF token. RIF stands for Rootstock Infrastructure Framework, and this token lets you pay for or use any Rootstock compatible services, including accessing all development tools to build out an app. RIF is up a nice 46% in the last 3 months, putting it in a position better than most alts in the last quarter. So check out the RIF token today. It's available on all major centralized exchanges and the Sovereign DEX as well, linked down below. And then moving on, we have HBAR heads to space. So SpaceX's bold blockchain mission. So starting this January, SpaceX will launch a satellite powered by Hedera Hashgraph's HBAR cryptocurrency. This news, which was shared today on Swiss national television, marks a huge step forward both the blockchain and space technology. This mission is a collaboration between SpaceX, Hedera, and WiseKey, a Swiss cybersecurity company, and the satellite will process cryptocurrency transactions in orbit, paving the way for a future where payments might zip between satellites, redefining how we think about money across Earth and beyond. And so Hedera's rise to stars isn't by chance. Recently, NASA research paper explored Hedera's technology, highlighting the potential for secure, fast, and efficient systems, the kind of attention that caught the eye of many, including SpaceX. Now, Hedera is up a lot recently, and that's not just because of the SpaceX news. We're actually going to get to this in a minute. So Hedera is up an insane amount. We are coming into high time frame resistance here. You can see this big resistance at around 11 cents. If we do break above this, I'd love to see a level reclaim, and then we're heading towards our next level of resistance on the high time frame at 19 cents. On the contrary, if we do come back down here, I'd like to see it consolidate around just about 10 cents, 9 cents, somewhere around here before going back up. But this is a big level of resistance that we are coming into now. However, potentially good news is that HBAR board member Brian Brooks could become the future U.S. SEC chairman, who will replace Gary Gensler. And I'm gonna play a little bit of this video. Brian Brooks, I haven't heard of him before this, but he seems like a pretty good crypto candidate for the SEC chair. So I'll play a little bit of this.
The Ether token represents an ownership stake in the network, but on top of that network are all kinds of apps that get built on the network, much like the apps on your phone depend on the underlying network existing that lets the phone operate. And so people will make judgments about which network is likely to win, and they will invest in the tokens in that network much the same way you might invest in Google stock because you think Google is going to scale access to the original internet. The difference being here, you can vote on what happens in the future of a proof of stake network, for example. You can get rewarded through a proof of work token for maintaining a ledger on something like Bitcoin. But the real message here is that what happens on the decentralized internet is decided by the investors, versus what happens on the main internet is decided by Twitter, Facebook, Google, and a small number of other companies.
Okay, so Brooks was nominated twice by President Donald Trump for a 5-year term as comptroller of the currency, once during the 116th Congress and once during the 117th Congress. And he's the former CEO of Binance US as a top candidate for the job. And President Trump is building a cabinet full of the brightest minds in America. So Brian Brooks seems like he would be a great potential candidate, and we'll have to see. But that's another reason why HBAR is pumping so much. This is the high time frame. Once we get back to this level, we have this huge level of 19 cents to break through. But we could be getting there between SpaceX, between Brian Brooks at HBAR. We have a lot of things going for HBAR recently. Moving on, we have Movement. Why is Movement the ultimate blockchain for gamers and developers? Now, we always talk about the latest blockchain games and trends in the market. Blockchain gaming is undergoing a radical transformation, and lots of game studios are moving beyond the regular traditional platforms and turning towards blockchain, which we can safely say Web3 gaming is finally getting the spotlight. Especially since this week I was at GeckoCon in Bangkok, and we were talking about, it was all about Web3 gaming, and it definitely got me a lot more excited for what's to come. And just hearing everyone speak at that conference, I was fired up for crypto gaming, so I hope we see some kind of run on that soon. Now, the good news is we still have a long way to go. There are several drawbacks, especially for game developers. One of the biggest challenges in blockchain gaming is achieving the speed needed to handle high-intensity, real-time gameplay. And we found a new blockchain that caters to this, which is called Movement. Now, at the core of Movement's technology is MoveVM, which is engineered for high-speed, parallelized processing, which allows gamers to experience gameplay that's smooth and responsive as traditional gaming platforms, without the frustrating lag or delays common on other blockchains. Now, Move is a programming language from Meta or Facebook, developed for its Diem project, and although it didn't go as planned, Move was noticed by the broad blockchain community, and platforms like Sui, Movement, and Aptos embrace Move for its design that provides flexibility and security to blockchain apps. Now, Move is moving to blockchain gaming, and this means that for developers, the speed Move offers provides the ability to build intricate, interactive worlds that can support thousands of players and in-game actions simultaneously. Movement's capacity to handle high volumes of transactions per second is a game changer for multiplayer games, especially big MMO games with lots of in-game items. And lastly today, we have SEI to support DriftZone to enhance Asian gaming market. Now, DriftZone, a Web3 gaming studio building the next evolution of gacha games, has secured a $190,000 grant to integrate its rapidly growing game ecosystem with the SEI network. And with over 500,000 players already in its Telegram minigame DriftZone Arena, the studio is demonstrating how familiar gaming experiences can unlock mainstream Web3 adoption. We talked a lot about tap games at the GeckoCon conference this past week in Bangkok, and a lot of people were excited that it was bringing a lot of players into the space. But I think there's going to be a big evolution in what tap games do. You know, just going from hamster combat where you're tapping a single thing. I think we're going to see a lot of integrations of that where it's like, you know, a combination of move to earn and tap to earn. We're going to see big things coming out, and I'm excited for what gaming has in store, especially some of these things that we couldn't even talk about based on what we saw at the conference. Now, the studio's approach centers on enhancing popular gacha mechanics, which drove over $4.4 billion in revenue across Asia last year, with real rewards powered by blockchain technology. Now, by building on SEI, both DriftZone Arena and the upcoming collectible auto battler DriftZone Origins will leverage the network's 380 millisecond block finality and process up to 12,500 transactions per second to deliver Web 2-like gaming experiences with Web 3 benefits. So that is SEI and DriftZone. DriftZone is going to be seeing a lot of money flowing in from SEI as well. So we have a lot of things going on for gaming, a lot of things going on with memes. It is, we are starting to sell off a little bit here. So it is coming up to New York Open now. We might see a bit of a sell-off this morning as we have had a lot of froth with the meme markets over the past, over the past few days. So we could see a bit of a sell-off. Maybe we do come down here first and then continue back upwards, or we just hold this line somewhere around here. We hold this line and then continue upwards towards $100,000. Either way, you want to be prepared. If we do come down here, this is like the buy of a century because longs are very favored right now. So if you can buy anything around here, whether it's spot, whether it's leverage, if you can get any buys around $86,500, this is a great entry to potentially hold towards $100,000. But that is it for the video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm back, and I will see you guys tomorrow.